And we're live, ladies and gentlemen. Here we are. It's the imho.love show. I'm Lou Angelwolf. This is Mike Murburg. Welcome to the show. It's 24th of November, 2021. And we're coming to you live from the Darby Ranch. This is the land of the CE5 and the beautiful sky watches and all that good stuff. And it's also imho.love, in my humble opinion, .love. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Good to be here. Tomorrow is Thanksgiving. And we're pretty regular with our gratitude. But I also wanted to say thank you to everybody that listens throughout the year. Y'all are awesome. And thank you for your feedback and the stuff that you send us and the communications and the friendships and old friends, new friends. It's an amazing configuration of souls, energies, and we're really, really happy to be sharing this time with you. imho.love, it's here on Facebook Live, and then it gets stored on BitChute and YouTube, and the homepage is imho.love, the website, and it's also on Podbean, and I think there's one more. I can never remember them all.
We've forgotten it by now.
Yeah. How you feeling today, Mike?
Send out a memo. I'm doing good. How about
Yeah?
yourself? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm good. I love the little snap in the weather we've had here in Florida. It's getting down into the 40s at night and high 60s, early 70s during the day. The sun was shining bright. It was just so gorgeous today. And that's something to really be thankful for if you're a Floridian. This is almost as if the Creator's patting us on the head for enduring August. So here we are, folks. Thanks for tuning in. I'm so blessed to so many friends, and if you see my shirt today, this is from the Bonneville Salt Flats and the Bonneville Speedway out there in the desert, out there in Las Vegas, or Nevada. And this is my friend Dave and Debbie. They're really wonderful travelers. You know, people that say, "Oh, when I retire, I'm going to travel," but they don't. Well, Dave and Debbie do. And he's a former lawman. I guess if you're ever former, I don't know if you stopped doing it.
Sounds like you're describing a 1960s CBS Western.
Yes, he's a retired lawman seeking the earth.
Chasing the guy who puts ball bearings in people's foreheads.
Yes, exactly right.
Okay.
Well, anyway, they were out at the Bonneville Salt Flats camping out, and they said it was, it's really kind of weird because they're out there like on the salt flats, and you just can't. And during the week, there's like not much going on. You can go out there and just camp, park anywhere you want.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they're salty and they're flat.
Yeah, they are. It's gorgeous. I was out there several years ago. And Dave said the scary part was, like, cars will come by like 100 and some miles an hour. And, when you're driving that fast, your reaction time is like, oh, my God, campers, He said that was a little trippy because cars will go zooming by and kind of trippy. But those of you who have known me any amount of time know that I've been into the UFO, UAP, extraterrestrial trend all my life. And I've been very, very interested in it all my life. And everybody kind of knows that about me. And that's fine. I understand. I mean, I was born with it. I don't know what to tell you. So when Dave and Debbie were out there on the Bonneville Salt Flats, they saw all kinds of craft out there. They would say that there was big white discs and they would go like 20 feet to the ground, and next thing you know, they'd be 500 feet in the air.
Yeah.
Completely silent. Several of them, they were like even like dancing around.
Yeah, the West Coast, California, has like been rife with UFO sightings since the very beginning. I don't know why, but it's like, it's a place to be if you want to see them. But it's nice that you can be able to call them in wherever you are.
That's true.
So they may be, Salt Flats are an interesting tourist spot. Maybe they like the tourist spots. Who knows?
Yeah, well, and on the Salt Flats, you could land almost anywhere you wanted.
That's right.
Without trepidation. But like Mike said, if you get lucky or blessed or whatever, and they happen by, like happened to Dave and Debbie, they're sitting in their camper looking out the window and going, what the heck is that? And they had their own little craft show up. So really, really nice. But if you're not on the Bonneville Salt Flats, if you don't live in Joshua Tree Forest, if you don't, if you're not in that neighborhood, that's what this show is about. This is the core, is the CE5, which is Close Encounters of the Fifth Kind, or HICE, Human-Initiated Contact Experiences. And that's what Mike meant by being able to call them down. And that's what we do. Once a month when there's no moon, we have a meeting out here. We have a sky watch. It's a potluck dinner. Beautiful friends, meditations, prayers. Real mellow time with really, really incredible people. If you're interested in that aspect of the show, or if you're just listening for entertainment purposes, that's fine. But if you want to get involved personally in a CE5 experience or HICE experience, go to Meetup and look up Tampa Bay CE5 Darby Ranch. And that'll lead you to the website. And then you can get hold of Mike. Mike will send you all the protocols, because it's not so, it's not like, hey, why don't you stop in and see if we see any flying saucers? It's not like that at all. We approach it from a very, very spiritual standpoint, and we cherish this time with each other. And if you're curious and really, really want to know, this would be a fantastic place for you to start. Or if you have an existing story that you've not been able to accurately translate to anyone, this is good for that.
Yeah, that's how it all started.
Yeah.
But, we send out our love and compassion here when we do our CE5s, and we attract extraterrestrials and non-human intelligences who are on the same wavelength, and they're with love and compassion.
Well, and that's what we kind of figured would be the beam of communication that would be most accurate. We approach them with empty hands and bare feet. We don't...
and good senses of humor. And they like humor. They do.
They do.
E.T. likes good jokes.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah.
Once again, it's part of the consciousness that we experience. It gets us into the realm of the imagination, which turns into the realm of the real somewhere else.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. The laughter, man. And if you look all through history, it's been a really, really integral part of our human existence. And I think there's more laughter and more things written about in that vein than is actually published because of the powers that be. They don't necessarily want you happy and jovial and enjoying yourself when it's their job to keep you confused and make you suffer.
Yeah, they don't want you lit. They don't want you to know the way.
They don't want you lit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and you had a beautiful experience today. A very, very close member of close friend turned on the light.
Yeah, Grant passed. So
yeah,
that was sad. But he did everything right. He was another single father too. He raised his kid by himself, and You know, he did air conditioning and cooling work, you know, for a company. He wasn't a big wage earner, but he made sure that as a single dad, he put his kid through private school.
Wow.
They were living in a shitty area of Tampa, but he still made sure that his son went to a private school. Graduated from college and doing very well. It was nice to see him growing up. You know?
Yeah.
But it was a sad thing.
Yeah, he was a good friend of yours, and
well, he was a true man. I mean, everybody that knew him loved him.
Yeah,
and heck,
I only met him a couple times. He was great.
Right, and you had every reason to love the guy.
Yeah,
there's no way you couldn't. That's what a great human being he was. You
right.
know? And the earth really lost a saint. You know, quiet saint, but they lost a saint. You know? And then even if a saint just reaches the lives of a dozen people, he's done his work.
Complete success. Yeah, it's the way you got to look at it. You know, and so anyway, folks, we are. Here on the 24th of November, 2021, we're experiencing all kinds of news stories and attitudes and inflections and new ideals and all that stuff. Kyle Rittenhouse.
Yeah, how's that self-defense stuff working for you?
Yeah.
But on the same hand, the guy Aubrey's jury came back with guilty. There's 3 old rednecks who just decided we thought we'd just go kill the guy, but we'll figure out a way. We'll figure a redneck way out of this. We can find an attorney who'll do this.
That
still got nailed.
That mindset is.
Yeah, and you got Ghislaine Maxwell coming up.
All kinds of crime.
But you're not getting this on mainstream media. They're not really carrying it and get out there. I mean, that and Hunter Biden should be like major stories, and there's nothing.
It would have been years ago.
Crickets just all you hear. But so we'll see.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Like I said, we got all kinds of news stuff happening, and it's a real turmoil time. But here it is at Thanksgiving, and it is a time. We're pretty gracious throughout the year, but this is a special time to spend a little extra. Reflection.
Yeah, and go Chinese.
Go Chinese.
Go Chinese. This is like
I love Chinese.
Well, I don't know where I'm going for Thanksgiving. I don't know if you're going either. But there's a high propensity that it's going to be like nowhere. So so what I did? I was driving home today, going, it's going to be quiet Thanksgiving. So I go, we can do this like the Jews do. Mm-hmm. Christmas. Mm-hmm. Where do they go? They eat Chinese. So Chinese. I think all single dads are left out and kind of fend for themselves on Thanksgiving. We have to start a new tradition, a man's tradition to go to Chinese buffets.
All the single dads are at the Chinese buffet. Look at noodles hanging off your plate and shit.
You got to name the date, though.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, we'll come up with something. That's funny. Yeah, single dad Chinese Thanksgiving get together shindig. Well, anyway,
the anti-Thanksgiving.
We'll call it thanks a lot giving.
That's good. That's funny.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Chinese Thanksgiving. Thanks a lot. Because single dads, I know my buddy Paul. They kind of broke his heart a couple of years ago. They were supposed to bring him a Thanksgiving plate. Yeah. And they forgot it.
Ooh.
And he sat there and waited for it, and they forgot it. So.
Yeah.
That's cold, man.
That's like Santa getting drunk for Christmas and not waking up to deliver the packages.
Yeah.
That's low.
Well, amidst all this. And like I said, if you've known me any amount of time, I've been into this for a while. I was going. I have a beautiful thing going on in my life right now. Our dear friend Kat Carroll is helping me coordinate my writings and my poetry, my prose, my short stories, all that into a book. And I have the writing ability. I'm just not the coordinator, dude. I don't know how to put it all together.
You got the ways, you just ain't got the means.
I think that's it. And she said that she would help me categorize and get all this stuff edited and check me for spelling errors and all that stuff, which there aren't many, I might say. So I'm going through some of my stuff, and some of that stuff is, 10, 12 years old, and there's my more recent stuff that I've written is much nicer, and this is poetry and short stories and long jokes and all that stuff that I've written over the years. And this is one I wrote a few years ago. It's called "I'm a Little Weird," and so we'll just humor me. I know the self-proclamation of weirdness usually isn't that absurd.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm really weird. Well, what do you do? I eat peanut butter and dirt sandwiches. Yeah, you're a little weird.
Well, we could do a song. I'm a little weirdo, short. I'm
a little weirdo.
Just carry it on, folks. We'll take suggestions now.
There you go.
Yeah.
I'm a Little Weird by Lou Angelwolf. I'm a little weird, but in a harmless, eye-rolling way. I'm weird because I like the smell of Play-Doh. I wish it was a cologne or a car air freshener. I'm weird because I always peel safety instructions off of Bic lighters. It should just say, fire inside. I'm a little weird because I can't stay in the same room in a restaurant or anywhere with too many TVs tuned to different stations or channels or events at the same time. I generally have to leave. I'm a little weird because I've never played more than 2 hours of video games in my entire life. Total. I'm a little weird because I got my spirit download from extraterrestrials at the water well inside my mother's tummy. I'm a little weird because I know what's in a hot dog, but I still crave them from time to time, Chicago style. I'm a little weird because I know this whole world of mine could turn into a living hell in a matter of moments. I'm a little weird because I also know that there's a wave of love coming to wash over this planet and fill everyone's life with love and content, maybe even happiness. I hope the wave of love comes first. Thank you. Happy Thanksgiving. It's my Thanksgiving poem.
Cool.
So, yeah, man, cool deal.
So you're eye rolling in your relationship with your reality.
I roll myself.
Yeah. Well, you know what that means, don't you?
What's that?
When you're eye rolling, that means you're dismissing yourself from whatever presence there is in front of you voluntarily.
Oh.
So you're basically rolling your eyes at the world as it is and just finding something else.
Should I stop that?
No, but it's something you need to know because when you're in therapy and your former rolls her eyes, you ain't going back home.
Yeah, that eye roll is a real tell, man.
Yeah.
That eye roll is a real tell. I mean, one of my ex-wives rolled her eyes at me all the time, and
how long did that last?
Well, it all kind of crashed and burned.
Yeah, well, eye rolling. Another thing is that my ex-girlfriend used to call it snake talk.
Snake talk.
Snake talk. Eye rolling and snake talk, man.
I like it.
It's like,
that's creative.
Yeah, you stoop to snake talk, man. It's done. It's over.
Snake talk. And what defines snake talk? Like, what's an example of snake talk?
You don't want to know.
Well, okay.
No, snake
you mean
talk.
Snake like I'm coming after you?
It's like thank your mother for fucking you up for the rest of us. Shit like that. That's
oh
snake talk.
Boy. Oh yeah. Okay, I get it. Yeah, that's self.
Yeah.
No, that.
Yeah, the real truths to come out during therapy.
That degrading. Yeah. Yeah. Damn it.
But it's okay. It's all part of life, man.
Yeah. So anyway, thank you everybody. Kat, thank you for doing that for me. I mean, it's I know I couldn't get it done without you, but it really did give me the spark to get this stuff going, and it's a blessing more than I do know, but it's going to be a big deal. So with the Thanksgiving holidays here, and everything is the world's changing out there, man. There's I guess you should just stop and be thankful for what you got today, because you may not have it next year if you continue to run through the maze.
Well, gratitude is the cost of abundance. It's an old saying, and it's true.
Gratitude is the cost of abundance.
Yeah. It's
I like it.
It's the tail end of your putting stuff out there. You get back in the universe or from the universe what you put out there. So sometimes you don't even know what you're putting out there, but you can be guaranteed that whatever coming back is what you're putting out there.
Yeah, it's I get bummed out. I get disturbed. I get it's funny. Every once in a while, I can feel a depression coming on because I've been dealing with it my whole life.
Right.
I feel a funk. I see the fog rolling in. But as I've gotten older and better at my meditations and gratitude sessions, I literally can keep it at bay with a couple of days of meditation and a couple of days of gratitude.
Yeah, meditation.
It'll stop.
And meditating on gratitude.
Yes.
I mean, that's one of the best meditations for people who are suffering from PTSD. So you look it up.
Yeah, I wish I'd have copied the article. I forgot. I had it up on the screen and then phone rang or something. They are really, really starting to make some nice headway in treating, post-traumatic stress disorder.
PTSD, yeah. Meditation, and guess what? Psilocybin mushrooms work too.
That was the thing I was going to say.
Yeah, it's like, wow, and 85% of the cases over 5 years, no remissions.
Nice.
Yeah. Where else can you get that?
Well, the thing of it is if you really look at things flat-footed, yeah, there are mushrooms that can hurt you, but there are also people that can help you pick what mushrooms won't hurt you.
And they're actually making pharmaceuticals now. There are pharmaceutical companies that are beginning to capitalize on the production of the psilocybin as a controlled substance, so they know the dosage and all the rest of that kind of stuff.
That's what they do with pot.
Yeah.
See, pot, it's been legalized in many states. Florida here, it's medical. But I still don't think you'd get in much trouble.
Yeah, nobody takes it seriously anymore.
Yeah. Well, there's guys in Oklahoma that's still doing 10 years for a bag of weed.
Sucks to be them, but yeah.
Kind of scary, right?
Yeah, it is.
But that's just got to be tormentous, to know that that's what you're there for, and to know that the state next door, you can go buy it in a store and pay tax on it.
Yeah, you can make the same complaint in Mexico when they bust you there and you end up in one of their jails too. You just got to pay attention to the laws where you are.
Yeah, that's true.
Ignorance of the law,
That's true. Yeah, ignorance of the law doesn't excuse you.
Right.
I didn't know.
And you know something? State wants their pound of fish.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. But the thing that, and I'm not this big pro trippy drug guy, properly administered and properly monitored, mushrooms came from the earth. They're a naturally occurring thing.
Mushrooms came from the stellar winds.
The stellar winds.
Yeah, that's the other thing they got here. They're not native.
Yeah, the fungi.
Yeah.
There's a great show on Netflix about.
Yeah, I think it's Fantastic Fungi or something like that.
Fabulous Fungus.
Fabulous
Fungus. If you never had a chance to watch it, man, what a great show.
Yeah, it is.
It really is, and it almost makes you think: are we humans here to work for mushrooms? Because it really appears that they're everywhere.
You know something? If mushrooms are legal again across the country, this entire country, the entire world would be woke. I mean, woke in a lit way, not woke in a snitpickety, left wing.
Yeah, awakened
Woke, Antifa.
Yeah, there's difference. It's funny. There's a difference between woke and awake.
Right.
And you want to be awake, but you don't necessarily want to be woke.
That's why I like Bob's term, lit.
Lit. Yeah.
Fuck being
Bob
awake.
Davis, man.
Yeah. Screw being awake. Screw being a rogue. I'm lit.
I'm lit.
I'm lit, man.
Lit it up.
I am the fire. I am the light.
Yeah.
What could be better?
We're just these beautiful torches that we're here for each other, and the light, and that's why Mike and I do this show, is we've been able to learn some great profundities, some lovely life lessons, some wisdom we can impart, and that's why we do the show. The show isn't monetized, not even edited. We just wing it every week.
Yeah, but we are going for the Galactic ET Awards eventually. Because we know some
Galactic ET Awards.
I mean, there's got to be somebody other than the small selective audience that's watching this out there, and you can bet they are.
That's funny.
So,
yeah.
I mean, I don't think there's much of humanity they let escape them. I think we're monkeys being watched very closely.
Oh, no doubt, no doubt, no doubt, and all this stuff. So many people have been awakened over the last few years, especially. I mean, but it's going on for many, many years. I read a great quote by this guy, John Henry Newman. Kat Carroll shared a video with me, and it was in the video. I stopped and wrote it down. And it goes, "I sought to hear the voice of God and climbed to the topmost steeple. But God declared, 'Go down again, I dwell among the people.'" And that's John Henry Newman, whoever he might be.
Well, yeah.
That was a great line, great sentence.
Yeah, dwelling among the people. That's what the Tao tells us to do. That's how you perfect your integrity. It's by going out, taking whatever you've learned and spreading the word and sharing it with people. So
service
helping.
to others.
Yeah, helping.
Yeah.
But you are carrying the word forward, and that's the important part.
And that's the thing. All these words. I took a quiz online a couple of years ago, and it said according to the way I took the test, I'd probably have a working vocabulary of 24 to 26,000 words in my head.
Yeah.
That's kind of... Hope I don't have to list them.
No, I make some of mine up as I go along.
That's how smart guys do.
I mean,
Smart guys
you still
do.
can't find contactee in Wikipedia or your general dictionary.
Contactee?
Yeah,
No?
spell check still attacks it.
Really?
Yeah, there's no such word. It's like you're talking about being canceled. It's like, well,
Yeah.
I'm a contactee. No, there's no such word. Sorry, we can't describe you.
But, so in this life, which, has a huge spiritual existence. I mean, it's just really a big time for people. And if you prescribe to this train of thought or chain of thought, we chose to come here at this time. Now, a lot of times it is like like it's an initiation into a club. You're blindfolded and they spin you around and you're all disoriented. But when you take the blindfold off and the room stops spinning, and you realize where you are, and you realize what you have inside of you, the energy and the love and all that stuff and the innocence that you came here with, those are your most valuable possessions. And when you go through your day in a pleasant, kind way, being peaceful and keeping track of yourself, that negative self-speak that we do all the time, that's we do it, and we think it's kind of cute, because you make a mistake and you go, what a dumbass I am, and you go, I'm such an idiot. It's really not cute. It actually sets you back. It's something you need to have learned by now. I know it's casual and this and that. It may even be a little funny. As a comedian, we certainly have our levels of sarcasm and stuff like that. But the reality of it is, when you tell the universe that's how you feel, that's how the universe thinks you feel. A lot of times it'll hear the vibration, it'll pick up the frequency of the words, but it doesn't necessarily know that you're being snarky or you're just kidding. You know, just kidding is I've gotten in more trouble with the term just kidding. You know, I'd write something and they go, oh, just kidding. No, you weren't. You weren't really kidding. So, but don't let the universe trip you up because you're speaking negative things.
Yeah, be careful with your intent.
Yes, and especially to rail against yourself. Man, that just doesn't make any sense at all. Because you're the thing. You're the thing that has to make it through this adventure on your own. And what happens is I've just happened to notice this in my life as I've stopped doing those things, okay? My life has improved. There are certain language restrictions you do want to put on yourself so you don't cripple yourself. And also, I mean, and I've gone through all the convolutions of this. I've been the worst guy. I've been the biggest smart ass. I've been I've had all kinds of issues with my language and things I said and words I used and names I used or whatever it is. But something I started doing a couple of years ago, and I'm probably 97% good at this. I don't call names anymore. I don't call derogatory names. Now, if I'm trying to describe something to somebody, but I don't, I mean, you could say, well, it's like he's a Casper milk toast. Okay, and I guess you could really say that the guy would be, if he called somebody a Casper milk toast.
He wouldn't know whether to be astonished or offended.
So, yeah. Thanks, Tom Waits, for that phrase, by the way. If you call somebody a Casper milk toast, it means he's a soft, pale, guy. He's he's a down kind of spirit, and not very bold or strong.
Well, Casper is a ghost, and milk toast is kind of breakfast.
And it's milk toast. MILQUETOAST. Milk toast. It's an old English word. The old English had plenty of words for everything.
Yes, he who shakes hands with a wet fish.
That's a thing, too. That weak handshake, man.
Yeah.
You know what? It's funny. Several years ago, I noticed that people's handshakes were getting weaker.
That's why they do the fist bump these days.
That?
Because they got no energy left to shake hands. My testosterone is so low, I got to do a hand pump. It's like, oh.
So, but young guys today, they hardly shake hands.
Yeah.
There's this like cool guy nod that they do, and there's the fist bump.
Yeah.
But
it's that whole COVID thing.
Yeah, man. They've got us. Yeah, they've got us separated. Keep them separated.
That's right. Make them crave touch.
Yeah, craving touch. I crave some touch. But that whole thing of being a positive person with a good attitude and an optimistic point of view, that can be a little irritating at times. But for the most part, it's good stuff. And we, those guys, I think they're further and further between. And the thing that I believe that makes it that way is our addiction to electronics. We've become more and more pulled away from each other and more thrown in front of a screen. Like the other day, I forgot my phone for like 5 hours, and I didn't really miss it. I just kind of was, my mom's kind of old, and I always keep my phone just in case, that. So that thought went through my head a couple times, but for the most part, everybody else is okay that I know of. You know, I mean, you don't know what each day brings, but not having your phone for 5 hours, that was pretty good. That was kind of refreshing. I looked at other things, and I took the time to read some static print. And that's the other thing, too. Those who want to control our minds and our actions, they've got us looking at these little screens. Okay, a little screen. Yeah, I don't know. I got a pretty big phone. It's still only about that big. And you get the headline out there, and then there's the first paragraph, which kind of restates the headline, and then the bulk of the story doesn't happen until 2 or 3 ads below. So in the mind conditioning that you just experienced, the mind conditioning, you read the headline, you went, oh, okay, what's up with that headline? And then you read the first sentence or two that re-explained the headline from a point of view. And then the rest of the story, a lot of people, they're in too big of a hurry to read it. Where, for instance, back, in the old days, you'd get a newspaper and you'd read the whole story, okay? You'd even go switch to 7B and get the rest of the story.
And that's when a crap would take you half an hour.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, this 5-minute bullshit.
And now they even have 2-minute read, 3-minute read.
Yeah.
Just to make sure you're,
on target for your quota for the day.
Yeah. So between not shaking hands, between not reading news stories, they really do have you. I mean, if you feel like you're being bounced in between the bumpers, it's because you are. There's, and they want to make us docile and they want to make us controllable. But there's still that beautiful, loving human spirit that wants to conquer in the name of that. Conquer in the name of love, in the name of peace, in the name of innocence, where all these wonderful attributes of humanity are respected and elevated. There's so much bad news out there. That's one thing Kat Carroll does. She's a contributor, or I think she's the editor, of that Good News Every Day. They only publish good news. And it's really nice. I mean, it's because, you guys are smart. Look on the other page. It's not good news. She's got a nice website there, Good News Every Day. That's Costa Macraeus and Hollis Polk as well. And there's a couple other contributors too. But I know Kat is kind of the girl for that. So she's a busy lady. And sharing good news, sharing good stories, not calling names, okay? It's kind of picked me up a half a step. It really has. I'm not saying the name doesn't dart across my mind. Sometimes it does. I see somebody acting like an idiot, and I want to reduce them to something easily understandable into my psyche. I might throw that name, into my own head. But then after I digested that thought, I go, that really didn't do me any good, And the other thing is, it's all these little snapshots. What's the old fable of the 7 blind men looking at an elephant?
Yeah, they say, where's the elephant?
Yeah, they don't know where the elephant is at the end. I mean, the one's looking at the tail and he thinks it's like a whip, and the other one holds a leg and looks like it's like a tree, and the other one thinks he looks at the side and looks at a wall.
And one's got his hands up to genitals and going, what the F is this?
How did I get this spot? And and then the trunk, and so each person has like this little idea of what they think an elephant is like, but they've not seen the elephant in its entirety. And a lot of times when you stumble into a situation in life, you're only seeing a snippet of what's going on. You don't know what that guy did earlier that day. You don't know where all these things came from. You don't understand the setup. You hadn't seen it all. So, we do judge to protect ourselves, That's how you stay alive. You're constantly evaluating and judging situations to keep yourself out of trouble. Hopefully. Sometimes fools rush in.
Well, are you analyzing or are you judging? Are you weighing things?
Isn't it the same?
There's a nuance.
It is a nuance.
Yeah.
Analyzing, well, you have to get to a judgment, you have to analyze.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or a decision.
Decision making, yeah.
Yeah, see, judgment's a rough term because, even in Christianity, judge not lest ye be judged and found wanting. So being judgmental is contrary to Christianity, and being judgmental is contrary to being a Taoist. So that's why it'd be important to parse and choose words, because if you're judging, you're transgressing against philosophical traditions, which are there to keep you on the right path. So if you eliminate, just like when you get the negative speech,
right.
you get rid of judging, and then call it the more what it really is, not just falling back on an old saw. Then you elevate your language and speech and understanding, and you stay on the path of positivity and not negativity.
Yeah, I see it like that, and I think that's it does come down to parsing words.
Yes,
because ultimately, your analysis is going to lead you to a decision, which also, in bolder print, is a judgment.
Right, but you need to do whatever you're going to do with crystal clarity. So I still don't see judgment as possible.
Okay.
I still see judgment is I just think it's the wrong use of the term in my lexicon. It's just
you got a big ass lexicon, dude.
Yeah. So judgment is can be a problematic word.
It can, and of that, it is the one that does kind of pick a scab for people.
Yeah, but technically it's out of the ontological framework of advanced beings.
Right.
I'm just not going to judge.
Yeah.
I'm going to make a determination as to which way I'm going to go. I'm not going to judge that right is better than left. I'm just going to determine I'm going to go left, I'm going to go right.
Okay.
I'm not making a judgment. I'm just determining which way to go.
Okay, but just to take this one level further out, is it judgment? Like if you decide to go right instead of go left?
You just said it. You decided.
But what got you that decision is you knew what was down the road on the left.
Yeah, you analyzed the situation.
Okay. All right.
You came to conclusions, and you base your activities based on conclusions.
You're right.
Without having to judge whether it's a good move or I guess you could, whether it's a good move or it's a bad move. But once again, if you know that either way is the right way, it doesn't matter. You don't have to judge.
But I've been scolded several times in my life
from people who judged you as flaunting.
And then people that said, you didn't use very good judgment on that.
Yeah, well, what do they know?
Yeah. You go to the...
you're up against a hardened Catholic wise guy,
Let me see them knuckles.
Well, yeah, we German Catholics are rough, though.
Oh, yeah, I mean,
you got the Italians and the Irish, but man, leave the Germans alone. They did.
You will not judge?
It's true.
Unless we tell you what to judge.
Yeah, not many people understand that about American Catholicism. There's a hierarchy.
Yes.
So of like who's filling the pews and who's not, but
Funny. My friend Klaus Meyer is a funny comedian, and he used to do this character. His name's Jimmy Myers, and he used to do this character called Klaus Myers. He used to wear the black turtleneck with the wire rim glasses and
Otto,
the classic Ilya Koryakin look, and or Dieter.
Or Dieter.
My name is Dieter.
Your sprockets.
Like to pet my monkey? You like to pet my monkey? Funny.
And Dieter
too. Yeah,
that was genius. He did a great.
That was great. Oh yeah, and he did this German character, and I'm not going to do it all the justice. He really had it dialed in and timed out, but the jokes were like, I'm one of the few German stand-up comedians We get a very bad reputation because people think Germans are inundated with mathematical order, and this is not true. Joke number one.
Not laughing to the Stalag.
You will laugh. And
That was a funny joke. Yeah.
he's got another one. He's got another one. He goes, "My father was from Hamburg, and my mother was from Frankfurt. So that makes me half Hamburger, half Frankfurter."
Yeah.
He goes, "Yes, that joke even sucks in Germany." Sorry, Jimmy, if you're watching. I don't mean to smear your act all over the place, but
Hey.
you know, the more stuff that gets peeled back about world events, man, that whole Central European theater was such a, I mean, that's the keyhole to so much of this stuff and why so much of this stuff is happening right now.
Yeah, let's go Poland.
Yeah.
You know, we're not going to desecrate our country and our values by taking people that are coming to destroy it from within.
Yes. Smart.
Yep.
Sure. Yeah.
And watch the rest of Europe fall because of the refugee problem that we've started.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, it was planned,
Oh, sure.
and Poland is not playing.
Yeah.
So let's see what happens to them next. But you know, somebody's got to have some courage and stop this stuff. Like in Australia, they you know had protests against the vaccination, mandatory vaccination, widespread. You know, the Aussies are starting to rise up. You know, starting to see the people are getting tired of it, and they're not carrying any of this on the news.
Yeah.
But needless to say, you know, there's some stuff going on out there. You can feel it's going on. You don't have to be told by the news what it is. You know, just it's all screwed up, and you know
Sure.
the vibrations of the planet are not good right now. But it's not like they're not without hope.
But here's the other thing too. There are some concerning vibrations at times from the wave of information that comes our way. But I'll also tell you, sometimes when I'm out in the open, and I really do feel, I mean, the world does feel different in November of 2021 than it did any year prior to this.
Yeah.
And but there is a like a delightful vibration at times. It's almost like, you know, I don't use the word God. It's almost like creator spirit, you know, like just gives you a little pat on the shoulder. It's like, hey, yeah, I know, but hang in there. There is that like unspoken okayness. And the other thing is, when you really pull back, that's why, you know, long walks in the woods, and especially being out here at the ranch, Mike, I can't thank you enough for just the time and the grounding and the ability to just sit and think. Really, it's helped my mental health quite a bit. And you're out here, and the wind's blowing, and the trees are moving, and there's occasional leaf flying, and a squirrel runs by, and the cows come over, and you know, you're like looking at this whole thing happen, and neither one of those cows watched any CNN that morning.
Right.
You know, they don't really even know what's going on in Saudi Arabia. They don't even, you know, they don't. All they know is their local vibration, and which is reduced to a local vibration from a global vibration, but that's where they're at. And I see I hear the war drums on the bottom. I hear the missed notes and the broken drumsticks and the popped guitar strings and all that cacophony of bullshit on the bottom, okay? But I also see a lot of people really turning inside, really trying to do better things with their life and their time, and trying to improve their selves, and consequently that kind of rubs off on them, and they become better humans. And then when you become a better human, a more loving spirit, a kinder, gentler entity to encounter, that rubs off on people. And when you're pleasurable to be around, more people are going to be around you. And if your goal through your pleasantries is to create a more refined, peaceful vibration for this world, I don't think you can do anything wrong.
No, well, that's the whole nature of contact work. It's people from their first experience on become spiritually changed.
Yes.
There's no way to do this and not have a spiritual impact.
Yeah.
Even those who, don't find themselves naturally drawn to this. So it's a spiritual impact. There's no denying it. And what you can do with that, or what you do with that, is all up to your level of development and ability to accept and access it. So,
yeah, absolutely. And what Mike is talking about is contact work is what happens out here. We do have an HICE event coming up next weekend. We're getting pretty close to full, I think.
Yeah, we got plenty of them. We got plenty of people.
Yeah, we have over 470 members now, and which is one of the larger CE5 groups in the world.
Yeah, it's a large group. It's the only regular meeting one.
We meet every month when there's no moon,
without fail. 5 years in February.
Yeah, and and it's 5 years in February.
5 years in February.
Wow,
yeah.
wow.
We probably had over 80 CE5s out, group CE5s out here.
Wow.
It's a lot.
It is, man.
Yeah, I mean, no wonder we've had results.
Yeah, wow, yeah. Well, and it was interesting. People ask, well, how do you know if it's something, or was it just something you saw out of the corner of your eye, or when you really when you see a craft or some sort of light energy, there's a little something that happens, and here you go, oh, that's something I've not experienced before. That's something that's not familiar. That's not an airplane. That's not a satellite. That's not, because I always try to advocate what it might, if it's something common, I don't want people to get all excited and think that they saw something that they didn't.
Just like everything else in life, your gut and your heart are sentient organs.
Yes.
They're sapient as well. So, I mean, they're finding out every day. They're finding out there's neurological tissue in heart cells. There's neurological tissues throughout the body that they're just starting to discover. You'd think they'd know it by now, but they've discovered this stuff recently, Mm-hmm. So, you have this inclination, you have this drawing towards an object. The real question is, and your heart jumps to meet it, but the real question is at the end of the night when you're driving home, how has that changed you?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then the next day when you wake up, how has that changed you?
Yes.
And it's the process of being lit.
Yeah, man.
So,
well, and to me, and I've said this before, I love doing stand-up comedy. I love making a room full of people laugh. I love entertaining people online, that kind of stuff. But of the work that I do in that arena, I love to write as well. But in the arena of performance, when I get to do the meditation out there at the Skywatch, to me, that's my most joyous stage time, if I could use that word. And what it is, I open up, I meditate prior. There's some times that I can really, really tap in and the words really flow. But what it is most of the people that have come out here, or that do come out here, they have a kind of an understanding that they are part of this beautiful oneness, that they are part of a lovely planet, and that love is the ultimate force on this planet, regardless of trouble and issues. And then we also start to recognize that each of us is connected. I see you, you see me, and that's how it goes. I am you, you are me. The people, 10 houses down having a barbecue, they are us as well. So when you start to see this as a oneness, it really kind of makes you kind of happy. But then you realize, well, I can talk about this oneness and I can think about it and pray about it and meditate about it. But when I'm with this particular group of people, it's like the energy of our collective onenessness is kind of like, it kind of comes together.
It reminds me of, this is around the campfire, all of a sudden, this is your tribe. These are people that, they've been out hunting and doing what they got to do, and then all of a sudden we have the fire and they all come back.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a spiritual tribe in every sense of the imagination.
Yes, it is.
So, and that's a really great feeling when you find your spiritual tribe. There's nothing better than that. I can see why there were churches that were organized and developed around that kind of that idea. Not exactly that idea, because they're always worshiping somebody.
Yeah.
But in this, it's not. It's the only thing you end up worshiping is life.
Right.
So, and the intelligence and the creator behind it, whatever you want to call it. It's so large it can't even be named. So.
Exactly. And what that is once you get to that point of understanding and release, it really is a release of anything else that you ever learned in your life. It's beyond any verse in any book. It's beyond any sermon you ever heard. It's beyond any piece of music that you ever listened to. When you get into that mindset, you're with these other beautiful people that feel very similarly to you, and then we take that energy and we compress it, and then we push it out away from us into a new realm of discovery. It's almost as if we're saying to our extraterrestrial family, our star family, however you want to put it, it's like, hey, we're here, and we realize that the most valuable thing that we have is the peace in our hearts and the innocence in our soul. So we're going to show that to you. And if you want to give us a pat on the head or touch base with us, or you want to hang out, coffee goes on at 10:30. Come on, let's all be. And there are some months, it's absolutely amazing. We'll finish the meditation and we'll sit down and the sky will light up, and it's almost like, hey man, we heard you. It's like when your friends used to go by when you were a kid and they'd stick it in neutral and rev the motor and you hear the pipes. Wumba, wumba. Hey, there goes DJ. And so it's like we're up there going, hey man, we got peace, we got innocence, we got love. And
as Taoists would put it, as I put it, we are integral universal beings too.
We are integral universal beings too.
Come now meet us.
Yeah.
Because they are the same.
Yeah.
They are the integral universal beings that Lao Tzu taught us about.
And they don't want to hurt us, man.
No, they want to help out.
And if they wanted to hurt us, we'd be done.
Oh yeah, the whole earth would be scorched.
They could scorch it. They could lick this like a bowling ball.
Yeah, I wish they'd learn how to snipe a little bit better. I mean, there's like
funny. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you have been listening to the imho.love show. I'm Lou Angelwolf. That's Mike Murburg. We're here most Wednesday nights at 7:30, almost all. And if you're curious about CE5 or HICE, you go to Meetup, and then you look up CE5, Tampa Bay CE5 Darby Ranch, and that'll get you onto the website. and you contact Mike. We'll send you the protocol, see if it's something that you want to get interested in. And the show will be copied. Our lovely producer, Kathy McGuire, puts the show on BitChute, YouTube, Podbean. Oh, there's another one she does too. imho.love is the home channel, and it stays on Facebook, imho.love too.
Yeah, what do they call that Facebook thing now?
Meta. I don't know. We may be leaving this format. This all seems to be getting a little, I got caught up in the initial wave. I've been on this thing for, 12 years now. And I got 5,000 friends. They never write. But...
and they don't invite you over for Thanksgiving. So what are you going to do? Get Chinese food.
Single dead Chinese Thanksgiving dinner. All right, folks, you guys were great. We're very, very grateful for each and every one of you every week. Those of you who write and leave comments and likes and loves and hugs and take cares and all that good stuff. We notice them all, man. We notice them all. And I do try to go back and send everybody a heart and a love. Because love's what it's all about, man. It's the last thing you're going to experience in your life. It's the thing that brought you here. It's the thing that's going to introduce you to the next level. Because when you give away all your preconceived notions, all your fears, all your pain, the only thing left is a wonderful, wonderful sense of love. And that's why you're here. And just don't let yourself get scared. Don't let yourself get too far out of the loop. Because this whole thing was for you, man. It really was. So thank you very much. And any closing words tonight, Mike?
Yeah, you're talking about elephants early on?
Yeah.
How do you eat an elephant?
One bite at a time?
There you go.
All right.
Reality's the same way.
It is, isn't it?
Savor every sandwich.
Yes. Enjoy every sandwich. Warren Zevon. One of the better quotes. And there's Daniel Miller. Hi, Katya. And there's Debbie and another Daniel. And all right. It's funny, I can recognize some of our listeners. There's Angie Beagleman. I can recognize some of our listeners by their little tiny avatar pictures. Okay, y'all. Have a good one. Thank you so much. Love y'all. Peace.